Surfing is almost mystical in nature. When you talk to people who surf, they talk about it in a way that implies a deeper meaning, a way of life. We set out on our journey to explore the thing that makes surfing possible, the surfboard. To do this, we drove down the coast of California, where tucked away in the green mountains lay sparkling water, virgin beaches, and the very people we sought to interview. This led us to the small surfer town of Pacifica. Here, we caught up with 3 surfers just finishing their session. We asked them each a simple question. Describe your surfboard.
Hello, my name is Michael Dansky, and I'm an East Coast surfer. So you have 2 types of boards here. You got a shortboard thruster setup and a single fin pintail. That's an old school board for riding really clean, fun waves. You walk up to the nose, hang 10, classic surfing moves. This is more of a performance shortboard. It has a fishtail, 3 fins that are more flexible, so you can go up and do crazy, gnarly turns. Throw buckets, it's kind of sick. So if you're a beginner, you want to start out with something like this. Something like this has more rocker to it, and it really can pitch on big days. If you don't know what a rocker is, it's the curvature of a board. And it goes like that, yeah? See what I mean? It has a rocker to it. And I don't know, the fishtail gives it more performance. That's pretty much all I got right now.
So I'm Lee Lavelle. I'm from a little town called Loomis, Washington, Eastern Washington. I ride a Lost Industries board. I have Man brand. It's a 6.0, 18 3/4 wide and 12 inches thick. I have a Hawaiian board back home. That's why I started on it. I was kind of riding that. It was a lot of fun. I wanted to try a shortboard, and this thing is like really thin, so it's fun. You just like ride up on those waves, and you know, cars, little buckets everywhere. It's pretty fun. I'm still learning, but it's a lot of fun.
My name's Ryan Eads. I've been surfing here for about a year now. I have about 6'8" board, airbrush, a little bit wider. We got the quad fins. The design of this surfboard is extremely wide, a little bit difficult to paddle out on. It's about 3 inches thick, so it's a pretty good stable board. It's pretty wide, pretty small. The quad fins kind of give it a lot of turn, a lot of control, so a little bit of speed.
My name is Paul Souls. I'm a 2nd grade teacher in Half Moon Bay. Yeah, I made this one myself. The outline's based on kind of a 70s style with a modern fin setup. I designed the bottom to have double concave so water flows through the fins better. These boards used to have 1 single fin, but everybody knows that design sucks, so I put 4. It's just an artistic thing they started doing in the 60s. They put like essentially food coloring in the fiberglass resin and spread it around. So it's kind of a classic, every board's unique kind of a thing. So when you make your own, you gotta have cool paint on it. You learn a lot about surfing and surfing history when you design your own board. You design specific things, like I made it this wide for a certain reason and this long for a certain reason in a certain place. But yeah, mostly just fun. It's a fun project.
Our conversations made one thing clear. Each surfer knew their board very well. They could easily recount all the minor details that go into making their board suit their style. Each surfboard was chosen to complement each surfer's abilities and compensate for their shortcomings. Length, thickness, material, fin configuration, and shape all provide different benefits to different people. And the color scheme? Those just provide a personal touch. Our next stop on our journey was Half Moon Bay, California, a town famous for its 60-foot waves. We decided this would be the perfect place to learn more about the history behind the design of surfboards. To do this, we consulted with a surfboard expert at Half Moon Bay Board Shop, Jeremy.
In the beginning, boards were made out of wood. This was prior to the advent of the foam and fiberglass board. This particular board is made out of balsa wood. Prior to that, the boards were made of a very heavy wood called koa wood that is found in Hawaii. Those were the original surfboards. They didn't have fins. They were just a flat plank of wood that people would ride. As time progressed, this board is most likely from the early 1950s. The fin was added to it, and people paid a little bit more attention to hull design as influenced by boats. So they were starting to ride more and more challenging waves and riding and just starting to bridge the gap between riding a wave straight and performance on a board. So if you transition forward in time, you have a foam. This is an older foam fiberglass board. So this was made with polyester resin and fiberglass over foam. This really revolutionized surfing because the board became a lot lighter, it was just as durable, and you could change things on the board as you went along. So say you wanted to modify the board, it wasn't very difficult for you to strip off a little bit of fiberglass, cut out some foam, and change the fin around. And this came around the late to early 60s. People started making them. They're very, very popular by the late 60s to early 70s. As you fast forward into the modern era of surfing, obviously we went over the modern shortboard. This is also a fiberglass and polyester resin board. As you can see, the design has changed, but not much has really changed in the construction of the board. As the boards have transitioned to becoming more composite designs with epoxies, you can do a lot more fun things with the board because you're not limited to what the human can do. You can do what a computer or a CAD design can do in the shapes of the board. So this board has an interesting deck design where it's a raised deck. It's got a kicktail like a skateboard because in a lot of areas the surf may not be good for riding long waves. It can be much more influenced by skateboarding, and you have a lot more extreme and radical tricks without having to link the tricks together in one long wave.
Surfboards have evolved from big hunks of wood to fully customizable computer-designed performance pieces. In addition, boards have also gotten shorter and developed more aggressive edges to allow the rider more control over the waves. Our conversations with the surfers and Jeremy instilled in us a sense there is more than meets the eye when it comes to surfboards. Every cut, shape, and edge serves a purpose. Ultimately, this customization allows the surfer to express themselves in the water, the very reason they surf.